When you think of Valentine's Day, you think of chocolates, roses, and awkwardly expensive dinners. But what if I told you the true origin of this holiday involves sacrificing dogs, stripping naked, and whipping women with bloody animal hides? Before we had Hallmark cards, we had a brutal Roman festival called Lupercalia. So how on earth did we get from blood sacrifice to be mine? The answer involves a confusing pope, a headless martyr, and a poet who might have just made the whole thing up. Let's rewind to the Roman Empire. It's February 15th. Rome is celebrating Lupercalia. This isn't a date night, it's a chaotic ritual for purification. Inside a cave on Palatine Hill, a special order of priests called the Luperci is sacrificing goats and a dog. Why? To honor the she-wolf who raised Romulus and Remus. But then things get weird. They smear the sacrificial blood on the foreheads of two noble youths, then wipe it off with milk-soaked wool. At that exact moment, the youths are forced to laugh. Once the creepy laughing is over, the priests cut strips of goat hide. These strips were called februa, which is actually where the month name February comes from. Then, wearing nothing but loincloths, they ran through Rome whipping people. And surprisingly, women wanted to be hit. They believed the lash of the februa granted fertility and easier childbirth. Now, you might have heard that Lupercalia also included a matchmaking lottery, like an ancient version of Tinder, where men pulled women's names from a jar. That is total fiction. Historians have found zero evidence of that. That's just a lie people made up later to make this bloodfest seem romantic. In the late 5th century, Pope Gelasius I finally banned Lupercalia, calling it a festival for the vile rabble. He established a feast day on February 14th to honor Saint Valentine. But here's the problem. Pope Gelasius likely didn't care about love. He just wanted to kill the pagan party. And Saint Valentine? He wasn't exactly Cupid. History tells us that Valentine was a priest who was executed around 270 AD by Emperor Claudius II. He was beaten, stoned, and beheaded. Not very romantic. But wait, what about the stories? The secret weddings? The love letters signed "From Your Valentine"? They are fake. There is no historical evidence that Emperor Claudius banned marriage, which means Valentine couldn't have performed secret illegal weddings. And the story about him healing a jailer's daughter? That didn't show up until the Middle Ages, 1,000 years later. So we have a bloody Roman run and a headless saint. When did the love start? For that, we have to blame a poet. In 1382, Geoffrey Chaucer wrote Parliament of Fowls. In the poem, he describes birds gathering on St. Valentine's Day to choose their mates. Chaucer was riffing on an old folk belief that birds paired up in mid-February. But because he was a celebrity influencer of his day, the idea stuck. Nobles began writing love notes, and the headless martyr suddenly became the mascot of courtly love. So the journey of Valentine's Day didn't start with a kiss. It started with a whip, was hijacked by the church to hide a pagan party, and was finally turned romantic by a medieval poet who liked watching birds. Next time you eat a chocolate heart, just be glad no one is running at you with a goatskin thong. And don't forget to subscribe for more history that ruins your favorite holidays.